Hey Coach, it's Brandon coming at you again from the Online Coach Creator. Today we have a very special training all about how to leverage live events in order to book more enrollment calls and to enroll more clients into your coaching or consulting services. Now, when I say an event, I'm talking about live webinars, I'm talking about workshops, I'm talking about masterclasses. This model even works if you're doing a 5 or a 10-day or even a 30-day challenge type of a format, okay? So the idea is, how do we leverage those live events and how do we capture all of the opportunity that they create and not leave any opportunity or profit on the table? So I'm going to walk you through the strategic map of how you would put together a live event funnel, regardless of the format of what your event is and regardless of what industry you serve with your coaching or consulting services. This process, this strategic map will work for you. So I'm going to take you step by step through exactly how to design this, and then I'll leave it to you to go in immediately implement this. Plus, at the end, I'm going to give you an opportunity to go through one of these funnels that I've built so you can experience it firsthand, which will make your knowledge of this process that much more in depth. All right, let's get started. So the first step we have right here, this is your traffic source, okay? And this could be paid traffic, organic traffic, it could be call to action posts, it could be guest blogs, it could be guest interviews, it could be your podcast, it could be someone else's podcast. Whatever that is, that's a whole separate training on its own, but the idea is we always start with a fresh traffic source. So it's the audience that you've been building. You could borrow someone else's audience, but whatever the case, we're going to give them a clear and compelling offer, and that offer will be whatever the topic or the subject of your live event is. If it's free, if it's a $47 workshop, whatever that is, we're going to offer that to them and they have a chance to raise their hand and opt in, which naturally leads us to step number 2. And step number 2 is your registration page. Now, I'm going to give you an example. We'll do a screen overlay here. I'm going to give you an example of what this registration page could look like. Obviously, there's any number of different design elements, but the point is we're going to capture here a name and at least an email, and depending on the scope of what you're offering, you might want to put a slot in there for the phone number as well. This is the first micro commitment that your prospect is going to make as they express interest in attending whatever event it is that you are holding. Now, after they have opted in, 2 things are going to happen, and this is the first place where you're potentially leaving money and opportunity on the table. The first one, most people get this right. This is the follow-up sequence, right? So whatever program you're using, I use Kajabi, but if you're using ActiveCampaign or some other email follow-up sequence, doesn't matter which software you're using. The point is we always want to provide some sort of follow-up, and that will usually be 3 to 5 emails or so. Something that just prompts them to say, hey, thanks, congratulations, here's what you can expect from the event. Hey, if you get a chance, reply back here and tell me what you're most excited about. Tell me where you're at in your business, in your health, in your career, whatever the case may be. This is the part that most people get. They go, hey, after someone opts in, I should give them a follow-up email sequence, right? This is like marketing 101. But here's where you are where I see a lot of people leaving some money on the table. And it is to simultaneously redirect, after they register here, to simultaneously redirect down to a thank you page. Now, here's the type of thank you page, and I want to highlight this. The thank you page has a video, a personal video from you. So the same way that you're seeing me here now, I'm talking right to you, you are going to leave a video message for every single person who opts in, who registers for your event. On that video message, you're going to thank them, you're going to congratulate them, you're going to tell them what they should have an expectation for as they go into your event. In other words, hey, what are they going to learn? What's the outcome going to be? How will it benefit them? Even though they've opted in, you haven't sold them on attendance yet. So we're going to start that process here. So The video is just a way to connect with your audience, to your registrants, and then you're going to give them on that video a call to action, because we don't want them just registering and then getting an email and then that's it and they forget about you. This is the internet. In a lot of ways, it's the wild west. People are getting messages and noise from all angles, and there's probably 10, 15, 20 other coaches talking to them about the thing that they're interested in. So you got to stand out. You got to set yourself apart. And that's the personal connection piece here. And then that call to action button, we have two options, okay? Now, if you have a well-established business and you already have an additional entry-level offer, for example, I have a $7 a month membership, so I offer that as an upsell. So in the example I'm going to show you, I'm going to overlay that thank you page so you can see what this looks like. In the example that I give you, I'm doing a free workshop, a free 90-minute workshop. Then they go to the thank you page, and then that thank you page redirects them to an offer, which in my case is $7 a month, and that's it. Now, it's not a hard commitment to make. I'm basically saying like, hey, if you're interested in this, you might be interested in this too. Now, if you've already got some sort of low ticket offer that you can put on the table, great, redirect them to that, because here's the kicker. My low ticket offer inside of the Kajabi platform that I use, it also has an option to click to book a strategy session call with me. So I send them from that offer over to a call as well. And that call for me is the conversion moment. That's where I would actually enroll someone into my coaching services or into a longer term masterclass. But if you don't have this yet, that's okay. Don't worry about that for right now. That thank you page, you can take them right to a call. What does that look like? Hey, thanks, congratulations on the upcoming workshop. We're gonna deal with XYZ, and by the time we're done, you'll have learned ABC about whatever topic it is. Oh, and hey, by the way, I'm also reserving a few places in my calendar where we can craft out a strategic plan for about 30 minutes before you even arrive at the workshop, just so I can see where you're at and help you take some first steps. Make sense? So now you've created an opportunity to conduct a 15 to 30 minute qualification call, okay? Because we don't know if these are legitimate prospects yet or not, but by putting them on the call with you, just a quick discovery call, we don't want to fill your calendar up with 80 one-hour strategy sessions and half those people aren't qualified. We just want to get on a quick 15-minute call with them and just see, hey, is this even a qualified prospect for me? We want to confirm that they're interested, we want to confirm that they have the budget, and we want to confirm that they would actually be a delight for you as the coach to work with, okay? So you can see how just by leaving out this piece of the puzzle, by leaving out the thank you page, you miss out on early conversions right here. So this is the first place where you're potentially leaving money on the table by not including just a simple thank you page to a book a discovery call type of situation and or that additional low ticket offer, okay? So just keep that in mind as we go through this strategy. That piece of the puzzle happens as a redirect after they opt in, okay? So they opt in, they get offered this, they take it, they don't take it. Then we're fast forwarding into the future. They've opted in, they're gonna get 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 or 5 emails, and that's gonna take place over the course of about 2 to 4 days after they've opted in. Then after they get that initial follow-up sequence, now we're actually coming up to the event, okay? So like if you're doing 3 weeks out, let's say, they'll get these right away, but then there's kind of a silent period. There's a gap, and that's when we start doing the event sequence. Now, most autoresponders, they'll have some sort of feature where you can tie the email automation to a point in time. So if your event is February 18th, well, I want them getting this email 2 days before, this email 1 day before, and this email 1 hour before, just to remind them what the topic is, because remember, we haven't sold them on attendance yet. We've just gotten their interest. So now we're going to sell them on actually attending the event, tell them all the benefits they're going to receive, and this is where we're going to put the link. So if it's a Zoom webinar or if it's Webinar Jam or whatever software you're using, you're going to give them the link in those pre-event emails so that they have it handy. You're going to put that link in every single email so that they always have it, that they won't lose it, okay? Then we have the event itself. Now, here's point number 2. Remember we said this is the first place you might be leaving money on the table. This is the second place you might be leaving money on the table because we have before, during, and after. Okay, most people focus on the event itself and then the email automation sequence after the fact to do the selling for them. That's great if you're doing that. We definitely want that. Remember, we want to create as much opportunity as possible and not leave anything on the table. So we've got the event itself, which we will be making an offer on that event. Okay, depending on what your offer is, it might be straight to the sale, or it might be down here to the book a call as well, to a strategy session to further qualify and then enroll that prospect, okay? So we've got the offer at the event itself. We've got the follow-up email sequence, which is gonna provide a replay if you're providing a replay, and then also invite them into that offer. But here's the kicker. This is number 2. This is part of the number 2 where you might be leaving money on the table, is the follow-up. So let's say you have 200 people register, and let's just be generous and say that, I don't know, 20% of them show up, which would be great, right? 20% of the registrants show up live. That's fantastic. So now we've got 40 people live at the event. That leaves us with 160 hot leads because they were interested in the thing that you originally offered over here. So we're gonna follow up with those people, and I know this might sound intimidating, but one-on-one with a personal email, and if they are connected with you on one of your social media platforms, we're gonna follow up directly, one-to-one, with a direct message via social media. And you're going, what, Brandon? I'm gonna send 160 messages one by one? Absolutely. Now, you can get a VA to do this for you, but if you do it yourself, if you're a one-person operation, it probably takes you an hour or so. Throw on some music, grab a glass of red wine or a coffee, whatever you prefer, and just start sending out those messages. You'll template those messages. All it's gonna be, you're not gonna like lay out the whole offer. You're just gonna say, hey, so-and-so, I noticed you registered for XYZ event on topic. Just wondering, are you still interested in outcome? Whatever outcome that you originally promised them from this registration event, you're now just gonna follow up and say, hey, are you still interested in outcome? That's it. A bunch of people will just ignore you. Some people will say, hey, no thanks. And you go, okay, cheers, no problem, because it's just like a very short message. It's not spammy at all. Spammy would be, hey, I noticed you registered for the event. Here's what we covered. Brrr. Hey, here's a link for the book here. Brrr. Here's an explanation. This just like this long book, right? Nobody reads that stuff in their DMs. We're just doing like a quick little short message. If they say, yes, I'm interested, then we can follow up with, hey, great, here's the details, or, hey, great, why don't we get on a call together so we can talk about whatever it was the topic of what they originally registered for, okay? So this is the doozy right here. This is one where most likely you're not doing, most likely you're leaving a ton of money on the table right now. Because remember, if we got 20 people to attend, and let's say 10 of those people, or 10% of those people end up converting, well, great, that gives us 4 people. So we got 4 new clients there. We got 160 people to follow up with. Even if 2% of those, which is like really low conversion, even if 2% of those convert, that's another 3.2. So you just got 3 extra clients. You nearly doubled your revenue simply by putting in hour, maybe 2 hours on the follow-up. And depending on what you're offering, I mean, hey, if you're offering a 5K, 8K, 10K package, times 3, like that adds up quick. I mean, it could be anywhere from 15 to 30 grand just for a few extra hours of work. So I don't know about you, but if I'm selling a 5K coaching program, which I do have a 5K 90-day coaching program, then I'm gonna do the follow-up. Because even if it leads to 1 extra client, hey, great, that's an extra 5K in my pocket. I can go and reinvest that into paid traffic the next month when I run my next event. And instead of 200 registrations, I'm gonna get 2,000 registrations, and then I can just repeat the process from there. So you can kind of start to see how this works long term. Now then your follow-up, of course, as we mentioned before, that will lead to a call, or if you're running like something straight to a sales page, like, hey, buy my $9.97 course, maybe that follow-up goes straight to a sales page. You can follow up with the details, send them the link, whatever the case may be. But if you're doing a high-ticket coaching consulting package, then they go on a call with you, and then all roads lead to the enrollment. Down here, this is the money. okay? All roads lead there. So what I want to emphasize here at the end is we always started with this traffic source. Everything begins here, and no matter what happens in the middle, I mean, this just looks like a mess right now, but no matter what happens in the middle, we always want to keep in mind this is what we're striving for, is that call to the enrollment process. So if it's register to thank you page to a call, or if it's register to a thank you page to a low ticket offer to a call, or if it's registration to attendance to an offer to a call, or if it's registration to didn't attend to a follow-up sequence to a replay to a call to enroll, or if it's registered, didn't attend, got a direct message follow-up, invitation to a call, then down to the enrollment. You can see how through the whole funnel, because a funnel is not always just like a straight linear process. That would be amazing if it always was, but let's be realistic. Like the human factor, people get distracted, they don't follow through, they need you to follow up, they want you to follow up with them. So we're just saying, hey, in order to get to this enrollment, this conversion moment, there's 7 or 8 different pathways that people can take. And as I build out my funnel for this event, as the coach, as the business owner, I have to take into account all the different pathways that someone could perhaps follow in order to get to that same final outcome. You will literally double, triple, even quadruple your revenue from your event simply by taking into account all of these different pathways, okay? So at the beginning, I promised you if you want to go through a funnel like this just to experience it, I am going to give you that opportunity. I'm going to set a link down below wherever you're watching this. I'm going to put a link down below for the registration page, okay? And you will see, oh, that's what a registration page looks like. Then you can opt in. You're going to go on the follow-up sequence. You're going to go to the thank you page. You're going to get offered a low ticket this. You're going to have the sequence before the event and after the event, and then a direct message follow-up from me. So I just want you to be able to experience this so you can see and feel, oh wow, this is like really thorough, and wouldn't it be great if I could take my clients through the exact same type of sequence so that they could come out on the other end, book a call with me, qualify them, and then face that conversion moment where they actually finally enroll into your program. And then, of course, you get the opportunity after that to serve them at a really high level as their coach, as their service provider. Okay, I know that was a lot. I tried to keep it as short and succinct as possible. Wanted to give you just the strategic map. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any additional questions about this. I'm here to help. You can message me directly. But let me know. Let me know what you think. Does this work for you? What kind of, if you want to talk about, hey, Brandon, I'm planning an event, but I don't know. Should I do a workshop? Should I do a masterclass? Should I do a webinar? I don't know what content to put in it. Great. I'm going to do some more training videos on that specifically. But in the meantime, book a call with me. Okay, let's just chat about it. There's not ever going to be any pressure to enroll in anything right off the bat. But if you want to chat about, hey, what should the content of my event be? How can I set this up? More than happy to jam on you with that. So that's all we got for today. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you found this informative. If you liked this training video, you found it valuable, do me a favor and just in the comments, just drop me a line. Let me know, hey, what'd you learn? What was valuable for you? What was your big takeaway from this strategic map session, learning all about how to structure a live event funnel so that you can increase revenue, increase conversions, and ultimately make more profit with the same amount of effort. That's all I got for you today. I'm looking forward to seeing you again next time. We'll catch you later.